Doom Eternal is an upcoming first-person shooter game developed by id Software and published by Bethesda Softworks. It is the fifth main title in the Doom franchise and a direct sequel to 2016's Doom, which is set to be released on March 20th, 2020. Since this installment will be seeing twice as many demon types as its predecessor, now would be a good time to reflect on some of the cooler demons from the Doom series. Hi, I'm TheColourTheft, and here are my top 10 Doom enemies. Number 10. The Imp. The Imp is a humanoid creature who has been a recurring character in the franchise since 1993. In the original game, it is leather brown in color, with red eyes, numerous white bony spikes protruding from its body, and sharp white claws on its hands and feet. With the revamp in 2016, the final Imp design added distinct features to the head and body, two prominent glowing eyes, spines on their back, and accents of purple color. These Imps were redesigned to be taller than those in the classic series and have similar acrobatic skills to the Imps in Doom 3. As with their previous incarnations, they continue to present a dual threat in the form of melee attacks with their vicious claws and the ability to throw fireballs at a distance. Number 9. The Cacodemon. Cacodemons are bumpy red monsters with large spherical bodies crowned with thorns. They have a single green eye placed above a large wickedly grinning mouth, showing a series of nasty teeth and a bluish electrified interior. Given their floating abilities, Cacodemons can roam virtually anywhere in their attempts to seek out the player. Currently, the Cacodemon's appearance is very similar to its appearance in the original Doom, their most notable features being its single eye and gaping maw filled with sharp yellow teeth that takes up the majority of their bodies. The top area of the Cacodemon is covered in red armor plates with spikes similar to the ones the Pinky possesses. Its fleshy underside is unarmored and displays a bulge, which is possibly an extension of the stomach to hold more food in it. The Cacodemon also has 4 stunted limbs that are now useless. Number 8. The Pinky Demon. The Pinky Demon is a pink, bulky, somewhat ape-like monster with small horns, dinosaur-like legs and feet, and a large bloody mouth full of razor-sharp teeth. The demon and its partially invisible counterpart, the Spectre, are unique in their exclusivity to melee attacks, requiring the monster to be near the player in order to deal any damage. To make up for this, the demon's fast speed and zigzag motions allow it to cover more ground and dodge the player's fire. As one of the more widely recognized Doom monsters, the Pinky Demon has accumulated many notable nicknames. In the Doom Bible, it was originally called the Demon Sergeant, while id Software staff have often since referred to the monster as Pinky in reference to its coloration. This was especially true during the development of Doom 3, when a new version of the monster was designed and still called by this name despite no longer being pink. Demons and specters are also sometimes referred to in the community as pigs due to their similar appearance. In 2016, the Pinky Demon's pink coloration had returned, and it looked meaner than ever. Its head is covered with a thick sheet of bone, which it uses as a battering ram to run down its prey. While they are able to accelerate quickly, they have difficulty changing their direction in mid-charge. The skin on their flanks is rather thin, leaving it vulnerable to attacks from the side. According to Doom lore, it has been indicated that the Pinky has limited vision and therefore depends mostly on its sense of smell, being able to detect various types of pheromones. The Pinky was first discovered on an expedition cataloged as MTC 2146/351. Half-eaten Pinky corpses recovered on later expeditions suggest that Pinkies are sometimes consumed by the other demons as a delicacy. Number 7. The Mancubus. The Mancubus is a large and formidable monster shambling about on sturdy, stumpy, elephant-like legs, glaring at opponents through hateful green eyes while dribbling the remains of its victims from a lusting mouth displaying sharp yellow fangs. To make things worse, its arms have been replaced by huge flamethrowers capable of spouting a rapid series of scathing bursts of flame, which are powered by a pair of fuel tanks grafted onto the obese monster's back. As of 2016, the Mancubus is a large, grotesque creature and can be argued as being the most revolting of all the demons. It bears a single green eye similar to a cacodemon and a large gaping mouth that constantly hangs open with sharp rotting teeth. It is covered in armor which covers its chest, shoulders, and lower body, leaving its back and enormous loosely hanging stomach exposed. The stomach displays a large scar that runs down the middle, which is kept sealed via a large clamp seen at the bottom. The chest piece bears an orange glowing demonic rune. Covering the Mancubus's arms are 2 large chitinous growths with 2 orange glowing barrels that serve as its main armament. The Mancubus also bears piping that leads from its upper back to its arms, possibly for the volatile goo it secretes to traverse towards its makeshift weapons. Number 6. The Hell Knight. The Hell Knight is a monster introduced in Doom 2. It is the weaker cousin of the Baron of Hell, with tan rather than pink skin and different sounds when alerted or slain. Although it is much easier to kill, its attacks are just as potent as a Baron's. Being functionally equivalent to the Baron of Hell except for having only half as much health, the weaker Hell Knight serves better as a medium-strength monster, falling more quickly to small arms fire such as from the shotgun or chain gun, or offering some resistance without slowing the action down against heavier weapons. In Doom 2016, the Hell Knight's design is nominally based on the classic incarnation. It is strikingly similar in appearance to its Doom 3 version, albeit slightly less broad in the chest and with a skull which appears mostly devoid of flesh on the brain case. It stands slightly taller than the player with a very muscular build, including clawed hands and feet. It is a fierce and relentless melee attacker, using punches and hammer-like slam maneuvers while chasing the player at high speed across any sort of terrain. Number 5. The Archvile. The Archvile in Doom 3 is a large off-white colored humanoid demon, standing a head taller than a normal human even in its standard semi-crouched pose. Its elongated arms are both terminated in bloody tumor-like bloated hands with huge inward retracted claws. The Archvile is a relatively high-level demon, possessing more than 3 times as much health as an imp. As with its previous Doom incarnations, the Archvile can be easily underestimated. Though not nearly as durable as powerhouse creatures like Hell Knights or Mancubi, the Archvile's varied attacks and abilities to summon other demons make it one of the tougher enemies to defeat, for it will instantly summon demons after its appearance. Many players feel the Archvile needs to be killed as soon as possible, often with the Soul Cube, BFG, or the Rocket Launcher. In 2016, the Archvile was tweaked and transformed into a new demon called the Summoner. Unlike the Archvile from Doom 3, the Summoner can continue to spawn demons rapidly until it is defeated. It will teleport around the area it appears in, using projectile attacks that deal medium to high amounts of damage to whatever it hits. It can summon every kind of standard enemy that has appeared up to that point in the game. Number 4. Revenant. Revenants are monsters introduced in Doom 2 that are easily recognized by their high-pitched shriek. They take the form of very tall animated skeletons in silver metal body armor, equipped with shoulder-mounted missile launchers and blood and gore running down their legs. The Revenant makes his third return in Doom 2016, appearing as a skeleton covered with a thin layer of wet, rotting flesh and sporting a pair of laser-guided homing rocket launchers. In a trait unique to the monster's incarnation in this game, it also sports a jetpack with which it can take flight at any time to avoid fire or to track down the player across virtually any terrain. Number 3. Spider Mastermind. The Spider Demon, also known as the Spider Mastermind, is a recurring boss character in many Doom games. I don't want to spoil much about this character for anyone who isn't caught up on Doom, so here's some trivia for this character instead. While the Spider Demon is considered more threatening and story critical in the original Doom game, in Doom 2 the Cyber Demon is given higher billing as the greater monster. In the 2016 version, one of the UAC report files on the Cyber Demon suggests that the Spider Mastermind influences the former demon's actions. A report following an incident suggested that this act was not instinct by the Cyber Demon, but rather a suggestion of a greater intelligence governing the will of any creature demon-born, a mastermind of sorts. Number 2. The Baron of Hell. Barons of Hell are one of the most powerful demonic creatures encountered in all classic Doom games. A pair of Barons, referred to internally by id Software as the Bruiser Brothers, start as the bosses at the end of Knee Deep in the Dead, the first episode of Doom. Barons also appear as regular enemies in the later episodes and in the sequels. Coincidentally, they and their weaker counterparts, the Hell Knights, frequently appear in pairs. In the 2016 version, the Baron takes the appearance of a muscular goat-legged demon with slightly tan legs and hooves, much like its original appearance. The Baron of Hell is a formidable opponent that utilizes attacks similar to that of the lesser Hell Knights, with the exception of being slightly faster and dealing greater damage while also making great leaps towards the player. Their ranged attack consists of throwing green fireballs at the player. When close, they will crush the player with their hands. If the player is killed by a Baron, it will rip off the player's legs and then crush their head with its hand. And number 1. The Cyber Demon. The Cyber Demon is perhaps the most formidable and powerful enemy in classic Doom. It is a tall, muscular, minotaur-like beast with 2 dark, black-gray horns, a cybernetic right leg, a large rocket launcher mounted on its left arm, red wiring on its lower torso, as well as patches of metal and wires on its right arm. The Doom 2 manual of the PC version describes the monster in the following way: a missile-launching skyscraper with goat legs. Nuff said. In 2016, the physical appearance of the Cyber Demon pays tribute to its original appearance in a number of different ways. It is an incredibly large demon, at least double the size of a Baron of Hell. It has pale pinkish skin that is covered in a natural armor that covers the majority of its body. It has 4 beady eyes and a large gaping mouth similar in appearance to a Mancubus or a Prowler. The Cyber Demon has 2 large sharp horns, the left horn of which has been broken in half. The Cyber Demon's right arm has a large blade-like bone that is located on the wrist, which allows the Cyber Demon to utilize its flame wall attack. The Cyber Demon's left arm has been replaced with an orange UAC-engineered rocket launcher. Located on the right of the Cyber Demon's chest is an Argent accumulator. In UAC report file XCZ0UYYZ, it states, "The Corax tablets discovered during the UAC automated survey of 2143 mention an ancient battle in the Titan's realm during the Third Age. An expedition to the plains recovered several relics, including the petrified remains of a massive Shadow Lord believed to be an ancient Balgar demon. Researchers in the Lazarus Labs began work on piecing the creature back together. At first, the project mandate was to construct an educational and inspirational exhibit. However, the focus quickly shifted when an attempt to meld the petrified tissue uncovered that exposure to small doses of plasmatic argent energy would reanimate the relic. The potential of creating living, growing tissue from the relic and the lure of an ultimate battle demon was too enticing to pass up. The project team quickly shifted direction and began work melding the ancient remains with high-tech weaponry. The Cyber Demon has become just as iconic to players as the Doom Guy himself, and is often described as one of the most memorable bosses in video game history. Which enemy are you most excited to see return in Doom Eternal? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, please support the channel by hitting that thumbs up button and subscribing so we can bring you more content like this. Thanks for watching!